If you've been on this channel, you know we've told the story of Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, but I had never found a book that made me completely rethink how I understand a composer. Until I read Chopin's Last Manuscript by Elisabeth Alan-Kellam. And today I'm going to explain why this book about Chopin should be next on your list, especially if you think you already know his story. Most Chopin biographies tell you the basics. Polish piano genius. Romantic composer. Died young of tuberculosis. End of story. But Elisabeth Alan-Kellam spent years researching manuscripts, private letters, and documents that other historians ignore. And what she discovered is a story of betrayal, public scandal, and a death decision so strange that when you read it, you'll never listen to his music the same way again. Let me give you an example of why this book is different. In 1849, Chopin was buried in Père Lachaise Cemetery in Paris. But his heart is not in that grave. It's 1,400 kilometers away. In Warsaw. Inside an urn in the Holy Cross Cathedral. Why? Because in his final days, Chopin asked his sister Ludwika to do something macabre, to cut out his heart and take it back to Poland. Most books give you this anecdote as a curious fact. But Chopin's Last Manuscript explains the why behind that decision. And it has to do with a woman, George Sand. Before continuing, the link to the book is in the description. If you like this type of in-depth content, this book is for you. George Sand was not a traditional 19th century woman. She smoked cigars. She dressed as a man. She had a job as a writer at a newspaper. She had more lovers than published novels. And Chopin fell madly in love. For 10 years they were the most admired couple in Paris. He composed masterpieces. She wrote scandalous novels. But when tuberculosis began to consume him, something changed. The book documents how George Sand began to see him not as a lover, but as a patient. How passion turned into compassion. And how Chopin, growing weaker, began to feel jealous of the men with whom she continued having relationships. And then Sand did the unforgivable. She wrote a novel. About him. She exposed every intimate detail of their life together. She portrayed him as a cold, possessive, jealous man who had killed her love with his sick paranoia. And all of Paris knew she was talking about Chopin. For a private, reserved man who had built his reputation among the French aristocracy, it was a public execution. What the author does brilliantly in the book is show you the real letters between them during this period. It's not dramatized fiction. It's historical evidence. And I swear that when you read those letters, you'll understand why he asked for his heart to return to Poland. Away from France. Away from her. But this book is not just drama and scandal. The music you are hearing is one of his last compositions. Many believe this piece captures a reflection of his entire life. And his life and music took a very different path from other famous composers, as he told his piano teacher early in his career. Bach is like an astronomer who, with the help of ciphers, finds the most wonderful stars. Beethoven embraced the universe with the power of his spirit. I do not climb so high. A long time ago I decided that my universe will be the soul and heart of man. If you want to read this wonderful story about Chopin, you have the link in the description. And when you finish it, come back to this video and leave me a comment telling me which chapter impacted you the most. Link in the description. See you in the next video.